Oftentimes, we see in movies that people commit crimes, and the investigating team or detectives like Sherlock Holmes have to use their brilliant minds in order to solve the case in a very short time. Nevertheless, this is getting a bit different today, as criminals are committing crimes with their brilliant minds, and it takes the investigating teams almost an eternity to solve the case because they use their brilliant minds to commit crimes. And that's what today's video is all about. In today's video, we're gonna show you some of the brilliant criminals that have used their intelligence to commit crimes. So make sure to watch this video till the end. Carl Gagosian. The story of Carl Gagosian is one of the most notorious bank robbers that operated during the 1960s and 70s in the northeastern United States. One of his aliases was the Old Man, and he was also known as the Gentleman Bandit. There was no denying that he was a man of intelligence, charm, and sophisticated methods, which earned him the nickname the Gentleman Bandit. During the early 1960s, when Gagosian began his criminal career, he quickly established himself as one of the most experienced, skilled, and successful bank robbers in the world. The large majority of his thefts were committed against small community banks, and he typically avoided using violence when he did so, instead relying on his charm and intelligence to obtain what he wanted. In addition to his attention to detail, he was also known for casing a bank for weeks or even months before committing the crime, just like a mastermind. During the 1970s, the FBI placed him on its most wanted list for the first time as a result of his string of successful robberies that made him a notorious figure in the criminal world. Despite a relentless pursuit by law enforcement, Gagosian eluded capture for over a decade, pulling off numerous successful heists and evading capture over the years. However, in 1976, Gagosian's luck ran out when he made the news that he had been arrested by the FBI in an operation intended to disrupt his activities. In this case, he was found guilty of multiple counts of bank robberies and sentenced to 45 years in prison as a result. After spending 24 years in prison, he was released in the early 2000s. It's important to note that despite Gagosian's criminal past, he has managed to gain a degree of respect within the criminal world, and even among some law enforcement officials, because of his intelligence and charm. It was said that he was a Robin Hood figure, who, by his own account, only robbed banks and never hurt anyone. It has been said that he is regarded by some as a legend, and his story has been the subject of books, documentaries, and even a movie made about him. Although Carl Gagosian's criminal career may have come to an end after just a few years, it left a lasting impression on the culture and society of that period as a whole. In the criminal world, his sophisticated methods and charm made him a notorious figure. His story continues to capture the imagination of many to this day, and his story continues to capture the imagination of many. Victor Lustig. In the early 20th century, Victor Lustig, better known as a man of thousand faces, was a renowned con artist and swindler who operated in Europe and the United States during the first half of that century. Aside from having a charming, intelligent personality, the man was also known for his ability to assume multiple identities in different situations, earning him the nickname, the Man of a Thousand Faces. It is believed that Lustig began his criminal career in Europe, where he had a series of high-profile scams and swindles to his credit. In one of his most notorious scams, the Eiffel Tower scam, he conned a number of wealthy individuals into believing that he had the authority to dismantle and scrap the Eiffel Tower, which was considered at the time to be a white elephant by many people. Later on, Lustig moved to the United States, where he continued to pull off a series of daring and elaborate con jobs. His most famous scam in America was the Romanian box scam, in which he sold a money printing machine to several wealthy businessmen, promising them that it would print genuine US currency as soon as it is turned on. Despite the fact that Lustig engaged in a number of scams, he was never caught by the authorities, and he managed to evade capture for a period of several years. It was only in 1934 that he was arrested by the FBI in Chicago and sentenced to 20 years in prison for his crimes. After being released from prison in 1939, he was arrested again in 1941, and he died in federal prison on Alcatraz Island, California in 1947. The career that Victor Lustig led as a criminal was characterized by his intelligence, charm, and his ability to assume multiple identities, which made him one of the most notorious con artists of the early 20th century. Despite the fact that his story had never been forgotten, it continues to capture the attention of many and serves as a reminder to be vigilant and not fall victim to greed or fraud. The Pink Panthers. The Pink Panthers are one of the top organized crime groups in the world that are known for their high-end jewelry and watch heists, particularly in the Europe and the Middle East. In fact, in the past few years, they have been considered one of the most successful and organized criminal groups in the world, with an estimated $500 million worth of thefts. As far as we know, the group originated from the former Yugoslavia in the early 2000s and is composed of individuals from a variety of ethnic backgrounds, including Serbs, Montenegrins, and Bosniaks. Their heists are often known for their daring and audacious nature, and they are often executed with a high precision by a military team. The gangs are also well known for the use of disguises, including wigs, fake beards, and surgical masks, in order to disguise their identities. In the past few years, the Pink Panthers have been linked to a number of high-profile heists, which include the theft of $136 million worth of jewels from a store in Cannes, France in 2013, as well as the theft of $28 million worth of jewelry from a store in Dubai in 2007. Furthermore, they have also been implicated in a wide range of failed heists and attempted robberies, including one in which $50 million worth of jewels were allegedly swiped from a store in London in 2003, which failed. It has been reported that the group is highly organized and well-funded, and has connections to other criminal organizations and networks as well. While law enforcement agencies from around the world have been working hard to track down and apprehend the members of the Pink Panthers, the group has proven to be elusive and difficult to apprehend. In spite of the criminal activities of the Pink Panthers, there has been a certain level of notoriety gained by the group, as well as a cult following among certain circles. There have been many movies, books, and documentary films on the daring heists that the group pulled off, as well as their organized methods. In conclusion, the Pink Panthers are a reminder that organized crime has the potential to pose a threat to the country, which calls for global cooperation between law enforcement agencies to combat the threat. Moreover, their activities serve as a reminder to society that we need to be more cautious when it comes to high-value possessions and to be constantly vigilant against theft as well. So that concludes our video. What are your thoughts on it? Please share with us in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and make sure you subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one. Until then, peace.